Hi, I'm Cass Langton. I'm the worship and creative pastor here at Hillsong Church. And it is my incredible privilege to introduce to you the beautiful and talented Miss Dami. This is so fun, hey? So, if my research tells me correctly, you came from South Korea as a 9-year-old. You find yourself in Queensland. You're a classical piano player. So far, so good. You find yourself in the 5th season of X Factor.
Yes.
And overnight...
Before that, when I was 17, I remember sitting right at the back there, just attending and going, wow, this is so huge. And I'm like, yeah, it's still huge.
And now you find yourself on the platform of not only Hillsong Conference stage, but stages all around the world. And you go from being a girl who loves doing her own groceries and who loves Jesus to actually representing our nation at Eurovision in 2016.
Yeah. That's true. That was only about 2 months ago that that's happened. So.
And we all think you were cheated out of the win. But you were the runner-up, which is no mean feat. It was seen by about 200,000 people around the world, and your influence is incredible.
200 million.
200 million people around the world. Sorry, guys, minor technicality. So can you tell me, has it always been your dream to be in the entertainment industry?
Well, as you summarised my life so beautifully, I've been a classical pianist doing, competitions and exams and all of that, but secretly I wanted to sing when I was about, 13. So I started to sing in my bedroom, just practicing and recording, songs. And then I started to sing at church, doing worship leading, and then, I felt like I wanted to take singing as my full-time job, but I just wasn't really getting anywhere. But I guess my husband, Noah, who's somewhere here, he told me I should, step out of my comfort zone. Don't be so afraid of what you don't know. So that's how I kind of stumbled onto X Factor, and then representing my country at Eurovision. I don't know how it's all happened, but God is amazing.
So is the fame and the success what you're expecting?
Well, to be honest, for me, I wasn't, really looking for fame, success. For me, I just wanted to sing. And I remember just when I was, 17, sitting there in the audience, I just felt like, well, I wish I just had people to sing to. And, I just wanted to not just be singing in my church, but I wanted to go outside the church, because I felt like as a Christian, it's great that I get to share my faith and my songs with other believers, but I thought it's more important that I take that to people that don't know Jesus, and that's where my heart was.
So tell me about China.
So before Eurovision, I got invited to sing on this Chinese TV show. It was for the Chinese New Year, where all the Chinese families get together and they watch this music program, and I got invited to that. And for some reason, that was about 200 million Chinese people watching. And yeah, I just thought, wow, it's amazing what God can do. When I wanted to have some kind of influence, I didn't really imagine that he would open up China and, all these countries to go and sing to.
Awesome. And then after Eurovision, apparently you had a long-standing commitment with Compassion, and they said you didn't have to fulfill it, but you said you wanted to. So you find yourself in Uganda. Can you tell me about that and why it matters to you?
So when I was 17, I was the first year at uni, and I heard about Compassion and how you can sponsor kids that are living in poverty. So I started doing that, and I started dating Noah, who was a really poor international student who didn't even have money to buy a can of Coke. And I was like, hey, Noah, you should sponsor as well. Look at all these kids they need food. And he was like, oh. So he started sponsoring, and we said, one day, when we get married, we should go and meet them. So we got married, and we got to visit these kids in India, and we saw, the difference it was actually making. The sponsorship, it was sort of very vague. You just put in money, you hope it works. But I actually went and saw, how the workers there were looking after the kids, not just with, physical needs, which is really important, but also spiritually. They really cared for them, and they felt so loved because of our sponsorship. So we started to sponsor more and more. And last Christmas, we sponsored our eighth sponsored child in Uganda, who's Jovia. And 2 weeks after Eurovision, me and Noah got to visit Jovia.
And you are a deep believer in the work of compassion.
Definitely.
You've seen it make a difference on the ground.
Yeah.
And you've watched God take your success and partner it with your heart for justice. And as a result, I feel like we are grateful as a church for what you are modelling in the industry of entertainment. So why don't you put your hands together and thank Dami.
Thank you so much.